We now move forward to our next technical session. I would like to invite Shri Maruthi Gowda, former consultant with McKinsey and Company, founder-director of Sukashi Enterprises Private Limited, to lead this session on the Efficiency Multiplier, converting energy savings into capital for MSME growth. Shri Maruthi Gowda is a globally recognized manufacturing strategy and operations expert with over 20 years of experience and has led transformation initiatives across steel, cement, mining, power, and manufacturing sectors in Asia and Africa and the United States. His work has focused on improving plant productivity while reducing resource and energy consumption through process optimization, smarter procurement, and supply chain efficiency. Currently, he is working with companies such as Paradeep Phosphates and steel manufacturer on initiatives that leverage AI, digital analytics, and advanced process monitoring to improve energy efficiency, reduce waste, and enhance operational performance in large industrial plants. His work focuses on helping manufacturing businesses, particularly MSMEs, to unlock sustainable growth by converting energy savings into productivity gains, cost competitiveness, and long-term environmental sustainability. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Good morning to the distinguished guests and industry leaders. I'm happy to be among you today, and thanks for this opportunity. Quick introduction. I'm Ahmedabad graduate. I was with McKinsey and Company working on a continuous improvement, black belt certified, black belt quality. So pretty much everything I can do in industry field, I have done it. Then after McKinsey consulting career, I was with a private equity firm, helping MSMEs grow, okay, where we had invested, doing hand-holding with them. Then entrepreneurial bug bit me. I became a MSME in the process, okay, started my own firm. So I understand the pains of MSMEs. Okay, what we had to go through, it says almost feels like a one-man army, right? Fighting on all the front, production, finance, people management. When we started the contract mining business, I had to worry about how do I reduce my fuel cost, how much biodiesel do I add? Do I add the green one? Do I add the white one? Or do I add the orange one? Okay, so industry is a little bit what do you say, unorganized in that way. And how do I protect my engine? What percentage do I add? So that's on the fuel efficiency side. How we try to reduce the fuel cost. Another one is on the financial side. We started buying the Iranian oil because we get a GST credit on it, which comes as a biofuel, right? So I had gone through all that pain and jugglery, what a typical MSME goes through. And I look at India and say, what advantage do we have as a MSME? If I had to supply, okay, I started one business. If I had to look at another business, what advantages or what leverages we have which we can take advantage of? See, I look at power. Power, we are mid to the little bit on the higher side. Fuel costs, we are one of the highest fuel cost countries, right? These are the two main factors for any MSMEs, any manufacturing sector. So with this, how do we become a supplier to the globe? How do we become competitive, right? So these are the challenges being an MSME in India we face. And one answer to that is we have to be innovative. We have to be efficient. Okay. The moment we talk about energy efficiency, energy sustainability and all, the first thing which comes to our mind is solar panels, efficient motors and all. We have spoken about it. Yes, they are one of the bigger levers, but in my consulting career, in my own experience, what I've seen is the biggest leverage we have is capacity utilization. How do we run our current capacity? What kind of capacities we have in our plant and how do we manage it, how we are running it. So throughout my career, energy reduction, energy savings, all those initiatives have yielded 2 to 5% savings, okay, which is still a significant. But concentrating on our productivity improvement, capacity utilization have yielded 20 to 25%, even 30%, okay, overall improvement, and energy reduction of 15 to 20%. Why this happens? This happens because whenever we are running a plant, we have a base energy consumption, right? To optimize that base energy consumption, you have to run the plant at a very optimal way, right? What is the capacity you have? If you have capacity of 100 on the paper, why are you producing 70? Why not 100? What do we need to do to bridge those gaps, okay? What kind of initiatives we can bring in, Kaizen, continuous improvement. So my suggestion is, before we go deep into the energy, look at your operations, optimize your operations, okay? If you have to build some elasticity into your production, do that. And look at how we are doing shutdowns or startups, how many breakdowns you are having, how much energy they are consuming. Because every time the breakdown happens, you have to shut your plant, you have to restart the plant. So my advice would be to look at that first, fix those first, then you move on to the energy saving initiatives. And also, my opinion about renewable energy is that you should not do renewable energy for the sake of renewable energy. You look at Europe right now, right? They moved away from the fossil fuel energy and try to go completely renewable, and they are not cost competitive anymore. So renewable works when you have inbuilt advantage, inbuilt rent-seeking ability. What does that mean? If you have large rooftop areas where you can install the solar and you don't have to spend on the land, that's an advantage, okay? If you're generating a lot of waste heat, to rechannel that to other areas, that is where you gain an advantage. So renewable for just sake of renewable is not a very ideal way to go about it. So that's what I start my conversation saying, that green manufacturing starts with running your existing plant smarter. Okay, I don't want you to be like a one-sided this thing. If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, please share, right? I'm here not as a consultant, I'm here as a fellow MSME who trying to share what he has observed in the industry and take your feedback and tell what we have done in our work. So some of it already I spoke in the opening monologue. Rising energy costs, limited capacity to invest in capital, high dependency on the individuals. One man cannot do all these things. So why I'm concentrating on continuous improvement and this thing is, most of the good valid points which I had on the energy saving already covered by panel. I don't want to go through that. I had listed about 45 initiatives we have done as a consultant in various companies, and some of them which we have implemented in our own company. So I have that, and if you are interested, I can share that with you. You can see which one is applicable to you and which one you can go ahead and implement that. Feel free to write or share your emails, WhatsApp numbers with us, and we can always take that forward that way. And if you need any help with your plant, understanding how you can improve your productivity and energy savings, we are happy to help on a pro bono basis. We are doing a couple of projects in Goa itself with the big corporates, right? So half a day, 1 day spending once in a month, once in a couple of months, it's not a big task for us. So you're welcome to leverage. We have a team of 2-3 people working here in Goa. So you're most welcome to do that. What else? So sometimes what happens is you have to have certain capacity, but you are not able to use it because of some restrictions, okay? Buyer is not there. So what do you do in those situations? So look at how you run it on a batch processing, batch production, okay? So whenever you run it efficiently. Whenever it's not required, shut it down. Okay, don't try to keep on running it, increasing your energy cost. I think that's pretty much I had from my side. Any questions? Any thoughts? Please.
Normally, what is the ballpark figure to make some kind of a incremental difference to the working of to the energy efficiency?
See, some of it is actually no cost at all, right? Let's say there is a lot of leakage happening if you have using heat energy, right? Correcting the insulations. And nowadays, the AI has come. I don't know how much AI will be applicable to MSME industry immediately, but the cost of AI implementation is reducing rapidly. If you see fertilizer operators, cement operators like Coromandel Cement, Coromandel Fertilizer, Shri Cement and all, bringing in a lot of AI into their systems. Let's say in the panels, to monitor the motors, okay, they have infrared camera installed, but who will monitor it? Infrared cameras are again monitored by AI, and whenever the heat goes above certain limit, they send the warning to the concerned people so they can look at it. There are smart meters are there. There are IoT equipments are there, right? So you don't have to connect everything by a wire. Now you put IoT equipment, it all works on Wi-Fi. It collects all the data and gives you real-time monitoring of the equipment. So that's why energy audit is very important. What you don't measure or can't measure, you cannot control. Okay, you have to measure every part of your energy. If you say if you're using 100 liters of diesel, where this 100 liters of diesel is going, how much horsepower it is generating, what is getting used for, right? And if I instead of added 20% biodiesel mixed with diesel, what efficiency it is giving me? Okay, how is the total cost of ownership affecting? Maybe biodiesel is cheaper by 20 rupees, right? 30 rupees. But is it really giving you the benefit? Those analysis. So numbers, that concentration on numbers and monitoring each and everything will always help you. And please avoid the breakdowns. There's like, maintenance is another big eater of energy efficiency. Every time something breaks down, you have to stop the line, you have to restart the line. That consumes energy, right? Your power factor goes haywire. So those are the things as a MSME should look into. Okay, but these are, you don't need any capex investments for this, or even if you need very minor. There are a lot of IoT companies which have come up. Okay, those combination with AI will give you excellent control. Because I know, I understand the pain. It's very difficult to find the talent, right, to do all this in your plant. It has to be you and a couple of other guys underneath you. That's about it. Most of the other people are like, labor category peoples. So how do we overcome this challenge? So you leverage the AI. There are a lot of companies which have come up. We are trying to introduce digitization and AI to the big industries. And we have seen the costs has come down drastically when we started a couple of years back, right? If it was 100 rupees at that time, it's now 25 rupees. And it's going to come down further. So look into the IoT devices, look into the AI implementation for monitoring, because AI acts as your proxy, okay, replaces the lack of talented manpower or a dedicated manpower. And also, as I said, renewable, don't do it just for sake of it. Just evaluate what advantage do you have over a neighbor, okay, to bring in that renewable, be it a heat recovery system, heat redirection, as Vedanta has done it, right? They utilize the heat generated from other processes to enhance the productivity of other operations, and solar also the same. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights and for clearly illustrating how energy efficiency can be transformed into capital for MSME growth.